Game 6 is against Seprix. That rhymes, right? Anyways, the board, we have King's Court on the board, which suggests perhaps you should play with a lot of action cards in your deck. What action cards would you want to play with? Well, there's Tournament, which is very nice, and if it triggers, you'll get money from it. Caravan, Draws, Smithy, Oracle, Draws. Mill is cool. Mill is very cool, especially with shelters on the board. Perhaps opening Mill is a good thing to do. And trashing is viably only in the Forge. I say viably because Transmute can trash, but we're not stopping for potions here because we want to try to get Tournament and Province together. The prizes seem fairly important. Which prize you want to get first? I don't know, we'll see depending on how things go. I think getting to Forge is a big deal and it will help us with our game plan overall here, whether or not we get first choice of our prize or not. So I open Silver Mill against Tournament Silver for my opponent. I only open with the Mill because I can trash the Hovel with it. Makes my deck a little bit thinner and it gets me money, which the Tournament would also get me if I opened with it. So now I do pick up a Tournament just to have one in case by some freak chance I manage to get up to Province. And my opponent, unfortunately, is able to trash their Mill here as well. Not trash their Mill, buy a Mill, trash a Hovel. So that's good for them. We have nearly identical decks, in fact identical decks at this point. One Caravan, one Mill, one Tournament, no Hovel each. So for the next few turns, we are going to be going after the Caravans. I considered at this point perhaps to include some kind of draw in my deck in Smithy or Oracle. There is the Necropolis, which might come with the draw card, but I couldn't really count on that being the case. So instead, I just decided to go for a Messenger and give us both Caravans. The Messenger is another silver effectively. So I have two silvers in my deck, which means that, and a Mill, which means that I have a decent shot of getting to Forge soon enough. So just going to pick up the Caravans. Well, we're still picking up the Caravans. My opponent makes the same play here with the Mill. I mean with the Messenger distributing Caravans. I'm just losing all my words here. However, because I did have the Messenger before him, I am able to see, well, a lot of money before him, right? So what is your play in this position? Forge, King's Court, or Province? I think those are the three things that you would go through your mind. I did also consider Caravan, Tournament, but really I think either Forge, King's Court, or Tournament has to be considered in place of those things. And I go for the Forge. You see, it's a little bit about thinking long term here. Tournament and Province, it may not go your way, in which case you have to build a deck that, you know, is able to still function even while not having the best prizes in the game. So the Forge, I thought, will help me trash. There's no trashing going on in this deck so far. My opponent also managed to pick up a Forge on his turn. I keep this hand because the Forge is coming and I put 2 or 3 Caravans into play, so big hand size, Forge likes that stuff. So yes, the point with the Forge is that if I could trash everything, I could have a thin deck, maybe get King's Court as my opponent does here, so very good for him. Then, you know, maybe the follower's attack won't be so bad. I can still play around it and maybe pick up another prize of my choice. Steed seems to be decent. Princess seems decent. King's Court with all the actions on the board means Diadem is even viable here. Bag of Gold is fine too. So here, instead of playing this Mill to trigger the shuffle and have all these cards miss, I decide to Forge the Mill away into another Tournament because I would like, for example, to get one prize, being the Steed, draw, pick up back the Province, and then get another prize. That's what I try to do sometimes when there's a Tournament and Province on the board. However, I don't have the Province yet. My opponent is able to Forge into the Province. Very nice for him there. I was not able to do so, but him being able to Forge into the Province is a big deal. Means he has a thin deck one and he has the Province. So all I could do now is hold on and hope that he does not pair the tournament with the province. So now again 8 for me here. What do I do? Province or King's Court? Again, I choose the King's Court. I think it is better in the long run to pick up the King's Court, even if my opponent picks up a prize here, as it seems like he's going to do. The King's Court will make my deck solid, more solid, and perhaps I could draw a lot of cards, you know, forge into a province maybe, things like that. So my opponent's first prize is the followers. I think that's reasonable, mostly because of the discard attack. The junking isn't really an issue for both of us because we have forges. And now he picks up another tournament, so things are starting to look a little bit scary, especially if I cannot see my King's Court here, which I don't. I'm not able to see my King's Court, and my opponent blocks this tournament here, which is not great. He only has the one province, and he was able to block me here. So that's not good at all. Perhaps the next card could have been King's Court. I'd have been able to king a messenger by a province, but alas, none of that is going to happen. Smithy here because if I king tournament or caravan, I will get a lot of actions, and I could use the smithy for draw, especially in the face of the discard attack. But yeah, things are going downhill here. My opponent is able to pick up the trusty steed and then follow it up with the princess, I believe. I believe they get the princess also. Yeah, there goes the princess and another King's Court for him. So the game is effectively over here, especially with this tournament getting blocked here. So 2 tournaments in 2 turns get blocked. That is not good at all for me. So we are going to just discard the deck here, and there's not really much else I could do here. I do pick up another smithy, but like I said, the game is already effectively over. My opponent has all the prizes, an additional King's Court, and is a little bit cleaner than me. Doesn't have any curses to worry about for one, and a lot less junk cards anyway. So I mean, it's just really a matter of technique at this point. I could have resigned at this point and I would have been okay, but I decided to keep playing a little bit. You know, maybe I could do something with the Feardom on the board, get some points with that, but that's very, very far-fetched. That is not going to happen. That really is the only source of additional points that I have, right? I don't have anything else to go after for points. My opponent will start to pick up provinces quite quickly in the next few turns or so. I expect him to pick up 2 provinces a turn from here on with the princess that he has. He also has a forge to just cut the game down very, very quickly. So here, going to forge away my extra smithy into finally a province. So maybe I could get some prizes going. Maybe I could, you know, score some points with the provinces. At the end of the day, this is an important thing to remember in tournament games. Prizes don't win games. Points do. So you should keep that in mind whenever you're playing a tournament game. Just because your opponent wins a prize or the first prize doesn't automatically make it over and done with. I tried here, but he has like 12 of the prizes and I have none. I did hold back a province here just to, you know, troll my opponent a little bit, make sure his tournaments don't trigger. That's really the only reason I kept the province there. It also prevents him from picking up money off his tournaments, which is kind of a big deal. He doesn't have too much money in his deck, although, you know, he has the bag of gold now, so he's rectifying that situation quite nicely. So, not really sure what went wrong in this game for me here. If you see anything that I could have improved on, please let me know in the comments below. But I don't like to say this about Dominion games, but I think this one is just down to the shuffles. I don't like to say that because, you know, I really would like to see. I don't claim to be playing my games 100% perfect all the time, and I would like to know when I am the cause of my own demise or when RNG is the cause of my demise. So yeah, if you see anything, please let me know. As it is, this is just floundering, right? I should just resign at this point, and I do resign after my opponent's next turn. He's able to get, what, 3 provinces or 2 provinces on his next turn, and I just decided to call it a game at that point. So this is how game 6 ends. My opponent doesn't even give me the opportunity to enter an endgame with him. So this is the worst game of the tournament so far, solely for that reason, as that small joke. But yeah, we didn't really get to practice any endgame skills here, because, well, we just get throttled, because my opponent picked up all the provinces. Not all the provinces, all the prizes. The turn where he forged into a province was the turning point. I think it allowed him, obviously, to enter a new shuffle with a thinner deck and the province in hand. So this is game 6. We have 3 more coming, 3 more for sure, and I know the number now. So thanks for watching, and I will see you.